Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Roznama, the daily newspaper analysis. Now, yesterday we were talking about, from actually the past 2-3 days, we've been talking about the AI Impact Summit, and also that we have a large number of international signatories that are coming to the country to attend the AI Impact Summit. So, we have the French President Emmanuel Macron in India. We also have the Brazilian President Lula da Silva in India. So a lot of news pieces today will be talking about the AI Impact Summit in detail. Then also the swearing in ceremony of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party leader Tariq Rahman, who's been chosen as the new Prime Minister, has also taken place in Bangladesh, where the Indian government was represented by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Om Bilra. All right. So these are two major things that we have to cover today. And other than that, we also have certain news pieces on other things like the changing global world geopolitical order that has been written, a wonderful article written by Shashi Tharoor. Then also we have certain news pieces on the Iran-US nuclear trade deal and nuclear talks. All right. So this is everything that we will be covering in the newspaper today. Quickly moving to the first one is India-France taking up signing various pacts together. Because although he is here to attend the AI Impact Summit, we've also held bilateral talks with the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, and they have decided to renew the defense cooperation between the two countries for the next 10 years. All right. Now, why is this defense cooperation significant? Because we have this one particular aircraft for the Indian Air Force that we import from France, and that is Rafale. All right. Now, Rafale was in news and it was much anticipated by Indians, much anticipated by us, that we will be undertaking certain deals in terms of defense security. So, the Indian Air Force a few days back had also issued a statement saying that they need around 113 Rafale jets into the Indian Air Force. All right. So, along similar lines, they've undertaken another defense pact with him and all with France. And also you need to keep in mind that we have CIPRI reports that come in. CIPRI basically gives us reports of relating to armaments, and it is also related to nuclear warheads, but is also related to armaments, imports, exports of various countries. And as per the CIPRI report of 2020-24 that was published last year, it was shown that France is India's second highest arms importing country. All right. And then keeping up with the tradition, we've again undertaken talks relating to Rafale. All right. And other than that, in terms of military partnership, other than defense, import of defense equipments of Rafale, we also undertake major defense exercises with France, 3 of which are very, very important: Garud, Varun, and Shakti. All right. So Garud is a bilateral Air Force exercise, Varun is Navy exercise, and Shakti is Army exercise that we undertake with the two countries. Okay. So a 10-year India-France annual defense dialogue and 10-year agreement for it has been undertaken. Other than that, we've also taken significant other things also between India and France, and we have a large number of articles on it. One of them also being the meetings or amendment to the protocol of double taxation avoidance agreement. Double taxation avoidance agreement simply implies that when the two countries are undertaking bilateral trade amongst themselves, then the countries would be paying taxes only in one country, as in the particular importer. If somebody is exporting something from France into India, then this particular person or company who is undertaking this export from France to India, he may pay taxes in either of the two countries. All right. He will not have to pay double taxes in both of the countries. All right. And also the two countries have Horizon 2047 as a set agenda where they wish to undertake their joint partnership till a zenith by 2047. All right. So this is another article which talks about or gives us a detail into what are the various things that we've outlined with them. Then another thing that was in news is the critical minerals. Now, critical minerals have been outlined and laid major emphasis in the budget also this year. where great emphasis was laid on rare earth elements, the government undertaking establishment of corridors for development of rare earth elements, and specifically in southern states like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, etc. All right. So aligning with this aim that has been outlined by the government in the budget, critical minerals also came up between the two countries to facilitate strategic partnership between the two of them. Another thing that has been taken place between the two, and one more thing that you have to keep in mind with respect to the critical minerals, is that India itself has a program, which is the Critical Mineral Mission, launched last year in 2025 for again a 6-year period till 2037, under which the government seeks to both nationally as well as internationally outline around 1,200 sites for harnessing or taking out critical mineral missions. All right, and this critical mineral mission is undertaken under the Ministry of Mines, and the international sites are aligned with the Ministry of External Affairs. All right, so this is something that you must keep in mind. Then also very important that 2026 has been designated by India and France as India-France Year of Innovation. All right, so that is what you have to keep in mind with respect to India and France. Then coming to the next thing, we are undertaking the AI Impact Summit in 2026 of 2026 in India, and various sectors have outlined how AI can be used to bring about development in the country. All right. So the Indian Army said it showcased several key systems, including AI Examiner, which is an automated assessment and feedback platform aimed at modernizing education and training frameworks. Another was SAM-UN, which was a geospatial and AI-enabled situational awareness system designed for mission planning, disaster response, and integration with smart command centers. Another one was ACOM, AI as a Service, a secure air-grabbed indigenous AI cloud platform. Then we had Prakshepan, AI-driven climatology and disaster prediction system. X-Face, which was AI-powered facial recognition system. Okay, and Nab Drishti, mobile telemetry-based real-time reporting and visualization platform. Also, AI-enabled driver fatigue detection device. So the Indian Army has outlined various initiatives to bring about better development of national international security under the ambit of the Indian Army. Okay, so do go through this one. It is a very important article, and you need to keep in mind various initiatives that have been undertaken by the Indian Army in this respect. Okay, all right. Then along with that, the Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry also launched 2 digital health initiatives. One is SAHI, which is Secure AI for Health Initiative, and the other is BODH, which is Benchmarking Open Data Platform for Health AI. All right. So this has been undertaken in terms of the health sector, the family welfare sector. So do go through this one. Then coming to the next one, the Union Minister of Electronics and Information Technology, MeitY, Ashwini Vaishnav, he's launched AI Mission 2.0. All right. Then AI Mission 1.0 was launched in the year 2024. Okay. That is AI Mission 1.0 launched in the year 2024. It was launched for a 5-year period. Okay. It was launched for a 5-year period. So 1.0 is still undergoing. And now the minister has also launched 2.0. And under Mission 2.0, the government seeks to undertake more production of GPUs. What does GPU stand for? It is graphics processing units. What is the purpose of this? These are specialized electronic circuits which are designed to rapidly manipulate and alter memory to accelerate the creation of images in the present global scenario using artificial intelligence, machine learning, gaming, audio visuals, etc. And again, all of this sector with respect to gamification, audio visuals have been given major emphasis on in the union budget and as well as the economic survey through a term which is known as the orange economy. Okay. Now you will tell me in the comments what do you understand by orange economy. Okay. Chalo. Then again another article which seeks to give us a detail into the entire framework that has been unveiled to undertake or regulate or incorporate artificial intelligence into the healthcare, where they have promoted establishment of SAHI initiative, which stands for Strategy for Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare for India, and both, which is benchmark open data platform for health AI. Okay, do go through this article, it is important. Then again too, I think yesterday only I had taken up with you all Bharat Vistar. Bharat Vistar was proposed in the budget, and Bharat Vistar basically is a platform where the government seeks to streamline all initiatives, schemes, policies, programs that the government has undertaken for the welfare of the farming sector, agricultural sector, and right now, as during the time of its launch, this Bharat Vistar initiative is available in 2 languages, Hindi and English, but the government will incorporate the translation of all of this information into various other languages throughout the year as quickly as possible. Okay, so they can get it in Marathi, Gujarati, Tamil, Bengali, Assamese, Kannada, etc. Okay. Then again, another article on India AI Mission 2.0. You can go through it in the Indian Express. Okay, then coming to the next one, Jammu and Kashmir statehood. Now, since the abrogation of Article 370, which gave a special status to Jammu and Kashmir in 2019, both in 2019, after the abrogation of Article 370, the state of Jammu and Kashmir, it was bifurcated into 2 union territories, one Jammu and Kashmir and the other Ladakh. And since the abrogation, both of these union territories, they have been demanding statehood. So recently, Ladakh saw massive protests by the people led by the climate activists Sonam Wangchuk, who had wanted the incorporation of Ladakh in the 6th schedule along with giving it statehood. All right, the same demand is for Jammu and Kashmir as well. So as of now, the government has not given a timeline that as to when will Jammu and Kashmir be given statehood, but they have outlined things like in due time, under rightful process, it will be undertaken. Okay, so do go through this article. All right. Then Iran and USA are as of now on talking terms, and they are trying to come out with a nuclear arrangement, a peace agreement between Iran and USA. So both of them have as of now agreed on guiding principles, which is going to guide their future discussions. All right. Sometimes Donald Trump issues such statements which are very, very derogatory in nature, which go away against the basic principles of respecting somebody's territorial integrity and sovereignty, and he keeps on issuing statements like he's absolutely ready to wage a war against Iran, to drop bombs on Iran, send an armada to Iran, which goes against the principle of somebody's independence and sovereignty. Okay, so again, as of now, they've agreed to be respectful towards each other and follow such guiding principles to bring about an agreement between the 2 countries. Okay, the same thing on the other also, but I just want to flag the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz has been closed by Iran. Now, Iran has significant control over this. The Strait of Hormuz, a strait, when we look at, a strait is a narrow water body which connects 2 other water bodies. So here the 2 other water bodies that is connected by the Strait of Hormuz is the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. Okay, we have the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman, which is connected by Strait of Hormuz, and Strait of Hormuz forms a very critical choke point for import and export of energy resources, specifically LNG and oil, from countries surrounding the Strait of Hormuz like Iran, Iraq, UAE, etc. And Iran alone controls around 8 small islands 7 major islands that are around the Strait of Hormuz, giving Iran significant monopoly over its control. Okay, so here is the Strait of Hormuz. This is the Persian Gulf. This is the Gulf of Oman, and then it eventually joins the Arabian Sea. All right, and then you can see here it connects all of these countries. So it's an important one. Do go through it. Then Bangladesh has sworn in its first prime minister after the political upheaval in July last year, and we have Tariq Rahman, who has achieved a landslide victory in the elections that concluded on the that took place on the 12th, and the results were out on the 13th of February. Then again, there are terms like the July Charter, referendum, etc., that I've taken up in the previous analysis as well. So I believe that it is absolutely clear to you by now. So this is Muhammad Yunus, who has represented the July Charter, and July Charter brings about 84 amendments or changes in the Bangladesh constitution, and it has been endorsed by almost all political parties other than Awami League, and Awami League, as it has been declared as illegal in the country. Awami League was the party of the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina. Okay. This is also the same thing, and we have Om Bilra, who's representing India in the swearing-in ceremony of the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Our Prime Minister couldn't go here because he's hosting the AI Impact Summit, and Tariq Rahman has been sworn in as the new Prime Minister, and also India has sent him an invite to come to India for a bilateral meeting and talk. Okay. Then coming to the next one, Ukraine, Russia, they begin Geneva talks. Geneva talks in the sense that they are meeting in Geneva in Switzerland to sign a peace agreement to bring to a conclusive end the Russia-Ukraine war that began in 2022, and naturally it is being mediated by Donald Trump. Okay. All right. Then coming to today's editorials. The first one is by Shashi Tharoor. It's a beautiful editorial. The editorial basically talks about that how when in 1945, the Second World War came to an end, the global world order, specifically led by the P5, US, UK, France, Britain, France, Russia, and China, they had come together and they had called for a peaceful global order where each and every country is going to respect each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty. Now, from 1945, we are in 2026, that is around 81 years later. All the principles that were agreed to in 1945 have actually gone down the drain, where one of the propounding countries led by Harry Truman, etc., who had vouched in for respecting each other's territorial sovereignty, etc., and had actually given reasons like this mad race for territorial expansion and imperialism and colonialism as the basic cause for breaking out of the Second World War. Now, that same country is undertaking similar steps today, like the US president trying to expand US, control or US supremacy over the world, and also is trying to forcefully take up countries under his control, as we can see in the case of Venezuela, and also in case of Greenland, where he showed this entire eagerness of the United States of America to take control of Greenland because Denmark and certain European countries had undertaken Arctic Sentry, which was a military exercise in Greenland, and he said that this was a significant threat to USA's national security. Okay, so this is what the article talks about, that how is the rules-based order simply going to drain, and no such things as being respected as of now. So wonderful take on the article. Do go through it. All right, then this again a very beautiful article, and it draws our attention to the fact that sometime back he begins with Jawaharlal Nehru's time, where Jawaharlal Nehru said to the famous cartoonist K. Shankar Pillai that if he is trying to draw attention of the government, the people to certain things in a satirical manner, or in a satirical manner, or in through hypocrisies or absurdities, etc., through a cartoon form, it shouldn't be taken to heart by the people, and as is done in the present government. So this article basically says that the right that has been vested in the people in the country through Article 19, where everybody has the freedom of speech and expression, which can be in the form of anything. It can be in form of literature, it can be in the form of any audiovisual, it can be in the form of any drawing, artistic expression, anything. But then there was something that was taken down, a 52-second cartoon video that was featuring Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the wire, and it was taken out on the pretext of that it is spreading some false news, fake news, and can change the opinion of the people against the Prime Minister in a manner which maybe is not in favor of the Prime Minister. So it was removed, and then that draws our attention to the fact that maybe after 77 years of independence or 77 years of becoming a republic, we are still not given this right to freedom of speech and expression. Okay, not even in the form of satire. All right, then a very wonderful article draws our attention to a piece of history. So 80 years back, we had the Royal Indian Navy mutiny in 1946. And this particular mutiny is very, very important because it was here that the British realized or came to this realization that till now, the basic backbone that had enabled the British to sustain their rule in the country has now shook up. How? That till now, if nothing else, and at least the army was in support of the British, but now it was for the first time that the army, and specifically one of the important factions of the armed forces, that is the Royal Indian Navy, they had revolted against the British. So now they had started start getting this idea that now their rule is actually not safe, and naturally by 1946, the entire national movement was at its peak, and we gained independence just 1 year later. So this particular uprising took place in Bombay. Initially took place in Bombay, and then it spread to other navy ratings as well in Calcutta, Kochi, Vijayanagar, Visakhapatnam. The initial cause of this uprising was that the immediate cause that actually took place was a person whose name was B.C. Dutt. Okay, now B.C. Dutt in HMIS Talwar, which was the ship where this mutiny took place, B.C. Dutt had written "Quit India," all right, on the ship itself. Had written "Quit India," and the Quit India movement had begun in 1942. So तब से Quit India movement चल ही रहा था. In 1946, B.C. Dutt had inscribed "Quit India" on INS Talwar, that they wanted the British must leave India, all right. And after that, it started spreading elsewhere. But the root causes for this was that everybody knows that the British were very racist in nature. So they undertook massive racial discrimination against the Indians. The Indian soldiers were sailors, everybody were racially discriminated at. They were not paid well. There was even the discrimination was to such an extent that even the sailors, they were differentiated in terms of giving food also. The Indian soldiers were given poor quality food as compared to the British ones. So they undertook this massive uprising and revolt against the British. And then this also coincided with the Red Fort trials that took place of the Indian National Army soldiers after the Second World War came to an end, all right. So the people were not happy with that also. And this particular uprising is significant because during this uprising, the people in India, they'd actually forgotten their communal differences, and they had come together in concerted demands to unite and fight against, revolt against the British, all right. So temporarily, for some particular period, some period of time, this actually fostered Hindu-Muslim unity, and everybody started believing that maybe India would not be partitioned after all. But then naturally, after this, everything again went to the drain, and India was eventually partitioned during the time of independence. Go through this. This year it's completed 80 years. A very probable question in the exam. Okay. All right. Then next article, it is a good article which basically draws our attention to the fact that now Myanmar also has undertaken its election, and the UN military-backed Union Solidarity and Development Party has secured a landslide victory in Myanmar. Myanmar was in turmoil since 2021, where the people, under the guidance of the military there, had revolted against the Prime Minister of Myanmar, the then Prime Minister Aung San Suu Kyi, and they basically said that she's a corrupt person and she's undertaken her entire, she undertook her power and she, got a seat through rigging of elections, and the elections were not free and fair. So they removed her, all right. And since 2021, it is in 2026 that elections were conducted here, and a new government has been established in Myanmar. And now we have to establish good relations with Myanmar. Now, our relations with Myanmar were not very nice and effective because of 2-3 reasons. One of them being that a large number of Rohingya Muslims, and after they were being exterminated in the state of Myanmar, they crossed the border, came into India, and they've been living in India, different parts since then. So we've been experiencing a major refugee crisis. The second problem is that Myanmar also undertakes massive drug trade, and because our borders with Myanmar is very, very porous, it results in easy coming and going of drug cartels and drug carriers, which affect our national security. So this is what the article basically talks about. And then India has always been very, very kind towards our its neighbors because of its neighborhood policy, neighborhood first policy. So along similar lines, we must undertake steps effectively to bring warm relations, foster warm relations between the two countries. All right. Okay. Then again, a wonderful article on Bangladesh. You can go through it. We've been doing Bangladesh for quite some time now, and just talks about everything that we've already discussed about Bangladesh. Keep on going through these articles. Okay. The next one is on Delhi and Paris, and how the two countries, what are the various initiatives that the two countries have undertaken. And this basically shows that, France is very, very warm towards India, and France has undertaken various initiatives previously also to, establish close relations between the two countries. And in a multipolar world order, India and France, they've actually developed quite nice bilateral relations, and they've actually tried to foster multilateralism in a country like India, in a world like today. And India has explored multipolar West, where India, other than having trade deals, agreements with the European Union, has also undertaken various bilateral relations with European countries. All right. So we have undertaken various initiatives with France, and then such many bilateral visits and bilateral pacts that are being undertaken with India and other European countries is actually, showing that how well India is faring in today's multipolar global order. Okay. All right. Then again, this article is relating to Bangladesh only, that how India initially helped Bangladesh gain independence from West Pakistan, and then we had good relations till recently, where till the political upheaval in Bangladesh. And the only reason for our straining of relations has been that we've given asylum to Sheikh Hasina, who is wanted in Pakistan to be tried for killing a large number of protesters who were protesting against the government. And then it actually talks about how the BNP, it came to power, and now with the BNP coming into power, which actually has a more forward-looking outlook, can help India establish peaceful relations with Bangladesh. Okay. Okay. Now this article talks about Naxalism and how Naxalism came up in or came into existence in 1967 after an uprising took place in a small village of Naxalbari in West Bengal under the leadership of two people, Charu Majumdar and Kanu Sanyal, against the government authorities, because Naxalism believes in the idea that the government is not working for the welfare of the people. The people must take government and control in its own hands and equally distribute resources amongst themselves, and then naturally this will result in result to bring to an end poverty and everything bad that is happening to the poorer sections in the country. All right. So since 1967, Naxalism spread across the country, and spread from the states of West Bengal all the way to Kerala. This entire stretch of the spread of Naxalism came to be known as the Red Corridor. The government has been undertaking concerted steps to root out Naxalism. Since last year, the Home Ministry has invested itself deeply to root out Naxalism and has set up a target of rooting out Naxalism from the country by 31st of March 2026 under Operation Sankalp. All right. Now the operation is ongoing and we are only reaching March. So 2-3 days, not 2-3 days back, but I think a 1 week old article was there in the newspaper, which did say that the Home Ministry has launched a statement, given a statement where they said that Naxalism is now only found in around 8 districts of the country, specifically in 2 states of Chhattisgarh and Telangana. All right. So the article basically talks about this. So I can go through it. Then coming to the news in brief today. The first term that I want to take for all is fraternity. Fraternity has been a part of the constitution and it forms a basic structure of the constitution as well. Fraternity means brotherhood, all right? And this entire idea of brotherhood simply implies that people in India must live together outside the ambit of any religious, social, political, or any other prejudice that may come up amongst them. All right. And this entire idea of fraternity, India has borrowed from no other country other than France. Okay. And this is basically a Supreme Court judgment where they've asked the political leaders to not divide the population, but to foster closer ties between the population in the country, amongst everybody in the country along lines of fraternity. Okay. All right. Then another thing, before we go on to Jesse Jackson, this we've done previously right now, but just keep in mind that the Russia and Ukraine, along with USA, are undertaking talks, negotiations in Geneva, Switzerland, to bring to a conclusive end the Russia-Ukraine war. All right. Now here we have Jesse Jackson. Do keep his name in mind. Jesse Jackson passed away yesterday, I think, and he was 84, and he was one of the most influential activists who led civil rights protests and movements in America, and he was a protege of Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. was that one particular person who undertook massive advocacy of equal rights and end to racism in the United States of America. All right. So he has passed away yesterday. So do keep his name in mind. He talked about ending of racism in the United States of America. And also some years back, we had this Black Lives Matter movement in America, which also which basically drew attention to the fact that we are living in the 21st century. We are in the 2020s, and yet America is still grappling with the problem of racism. Okay. All right. Then the new space you can go through, but I just wanted to flag net zero goal for you all. This net zero goal was outlined by the country as per the provisions of COP21 of UNFCCC, which was undertaken in Glasgow. And our net zero target is to become a net zero country by 2070. Okay. Net zero for what? Net zero carbon emission country. What does net zero imply? That as much of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases that India is releasing in the process of production, an equivalent amount of carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases must be sequestered. Okay. So again, keep the net zero target, etc. in mind. Then again, this is just an article on Jesse Jackson. I've just talked about him 2 slides back. So do keep his name in mind, that he was one of the people who advocated for civil rights in America and advocated for an end to racism in America. Also one of the voices behind the Black Lives Matter movement in America. All right. This is a continuation of the same article about him. Okay. Then again, I just wanted to flag this term black box for you. So black box is a small box that is kept in each and every aircraft, and the purpose of this black box is to record all the proceedings of the aircraft. Record all the proceedings of the aircraft, talks about everything record everything that the pilots, co-pilots are discussing, talking amongst themselves, and basically to keep a tab on the activities of the aircraft. All right. So it is this particular black box that the investigation authorities, investigation bureau, they actually listen to get an understanding as to what happened during the time of a crash. Okay. All right. Then another thing for today, and the last one that I wanted to flag, was the fleet review at Visakhapatnam. All right. So this is the third international fleet review that India is undertaking. The first one was in 2001, second one was in 2016. And in this international fleet review, we invite a large number of countries into India with their naval resources, naval armaments, prowess, and undertake a basic review. The president undertakes this, and this is the largest naval fleet review that is being undertaken. Also, it aligns with the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium Conclave. This year, India has undertaken the chairmanship of Indian Ocean Naval Symposium for the next 2 years. All right. So this is everything from today's newspaper. I hope it was a wonderful session. I hope the newspaper is clear for you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow with the next. Thank you.